Vegas Gates, welcome to the Vegas Live Podcast. Tonight, I want to talk business. Real briefly, I'm not going to keep y'all long. I promise that. I promise you that. Now, you may be a person out there that's thinking about going into business, but you're thinking about taking on a partner or partners. See, I'm about to break it down for you guys. I'm about to tell you some things that you need to look out for, some things that you need to cover before you come out your pocket, before you sign any paperwork. Because these tips could save you a lot of heartache, a lot of stress, a lot of money, and most importantly, the one thing you will never get back, time. Save you a lot of time. Now, you may have some family members, you may have some friends, you might have some strangers that have approached you, or you may have approached them and say, hey, so-and-so, let's start this business together. And it all sounds good, like, yes, I've been waiting. I need some help. I need that extra motivation. I need that push. This is exactly what I've been waiting for. Everything is going to be swell. Pump your brakes. Because just because you boys, just because that's your girl, just because that's your sis, just because that's my mama, don't mean you should just jump in head first without doing your due diligence, without crossing your T's and dotting them I's. You got to do some homework. You got to ask some questions. You got to have some conversations with these potential partners. And you got to dig deep inside you to ask yourself, look, am I going to be able to hold up my end? Am I going to be able to hold up my end? One of the conversations you guys got to have, you guys have to make sure that you guys are all on the same path to reach the same goal. Because if you have misaligned goals, it's going to be a struggle. It's going to lead to a whole bunch of conflict because y'all don't know what direction y'all going. You got one person going this way, one person going south, one person going east. So you got to make sure your goals are aligned. If not, scratch it. Bad idea. Communication, you got to communicate. If I sent you a text, what's the time frame on when I should expect a response? Or if I called you and you didn't answer, what is the time frame when I should receive a return call? See, a lack of communication that's a business killer. It's a business killer, especially when there's deadlines that need to be made. There are tasks that need to be completed, but you're not communicating. So you gotta communicate. Because it's just so many things can happen, go bad just from a lack of communication. It can lead to misunderstandings, a lack of clarity. It can cause breakdowns in decision-making processes. You trying to make a purchase, but you got to wait on somebody else to get the okay because they haven't responded to your text. They ain't called you back. Look. If you have trust issues, a business partnership is not for you. If you have trust issues, a business partner is not for you. If in the back of your head, all you thinking about is how they getting over, how they making money on the side, it ain't for you. If somebody burnt you in the past and that's still eating you up inside, and now you want, no, don't take that bullshit to the next. Don't even put yourself through it. Don't even put yourself through that. See, because when you don't trust your business partners, right, you may start to sabotage the business. You may start holding up processes, taking your time to do shit, because you got some shit all up inside here. I don't trust them niggas. Excuse my language. Make sure the money is right, man. Make sure y'all set up a budget. Make sure y'all know how much this project is going to cost, or at least around and about. At least you got to know every partner's contribution. Look, we going half, or we going 3 ways, but we have to keep it equal. We have to keep it equal, because when shit starts to get unequal, resentment, that can lead to resentment. That shit can build up over time. So you got to make sure the contributions are equal. You can't go run out just because a lack of communication. Now you can't just go out, I'm just going to go in my pocket and spend it and go get it. I had to do it out of my own pocket. No, don't do that. Don't do that. The contributions have to be equal. And workloads, right? And I'm not talking just about financial. I'm talking about the work that's actually being done. That has to be equal across the board. So each partner needs to be assigned a role, and there needs to be some type of accountability, some type of accountability. What word am I looking for is pissing me off. We have to be able to check to make sure you're doing this damn work. If not, we gonna hold you accountable for it. I'm not sure what the penalty is gonna be, but there has to be something. But each partner needs a role. So just like the financial, everybody's role is equal. Because if not, here's what'll happen. If everybody doesn't have the role, then you have one partner that's doing this sun up to sundown. Then the other partners, they only got little small or no roles at all. You're gonna be like, damn, I feel like I'm doing all the work. Another thing on money, you got to make sure when you guys start pulling in some money, making some money. I'm not talking about profit. If you guys are selling stuff and money starts to come in, we gotta make it clear where this money is going. Is this money going back into the business? Are we taking a percentage? Are we paying ourselves yet? Are we spending this money on more merchandise, new equipment? Be clear. Let's be clear about this, y'all. We gotta be clear. Personalities can be a business partnership killer. A clash of working styles, value systems, that shit can create tension. If y'all personalities are clashing, that's gonna hinder effective collaboration. So you want to make sure you're going into a business with a person that you guys have a good rapport with each other. You guys are like a soulmate when it comes to business. You know what I mean? You got to be able to resolve conflicts, because conflicts will come up, right? You got to be able to resolve things in a peaceful manner. We don't need to raise our voices. We have a difference of opinion or a different of idea what direction we should go. Whatever it is, you got to be able to resolve conflicts in a constructive manner and de-escalate any friction, because disagreements, man, they can damage a partnership. So you got to have a good sense of of a conflict resolution. Changes are going to come up, right? You have one vision for the business, right? Something happens, you know how like COVID happened. So the circumstances change. Prices may change. So you guys have to be able to adapt to these changing circumstances in a partnership. So that's something that you guys have to talk about. What happens if this happens? What happens if that happens? Every partner needs to be committed. And see, this commitment thing, we can lie. We can lie. Yeah, I'm committed. I'm passionate about it. See, that's why it's important to give every partner a role. This is your role, your role, your role, your role. Did you get your shit done? That's going to tell me if you're committed or not. If you didn't get it done, we got to go back to that accountability thing. Okay, it's a penalty. And if it keeps on happening, you got to go, man. You ain't as committed as I am. I'm getting all my tasks done. Why you not getting your shit done? Every partner has to have the same commitment level. And there has to be things put in place to assure that this is being met. Because it's not going to look... It's not going to be successful if one person is going 110, then you got another person only going 20. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. Legal. Get your legal paperwork ready. Legal Zoom, hire you a lawyer, whatever you got to do. Because if you don't have a clear written agreement or contract in place, it can lead to disputes and it can jeopardize the partnerships. And when you get this drawn up, you got to stick by it. You got to stand by it. I know sometimes it's hard to cut ties with your family, your friends, but like go into it like this is business now. This is business. It ain't personal. This is business. This is business. And you guys need to talk about kind of like I was just talking about COVID. You gotta talk about external factors, economic downturns, changes in consumer behavior. I don't know what type of business you're talking about, but stuff may change. Unforeseen events, natural disasters can put a strain on a partnership. That's something that you guys need to talk about. I know it sounds crazy here in Vegas, but you just never know. Planning. Poor planning. If you just have poor planning, the business it's off to a rough start. Insufficient planning or just unrealistic, expectations about the business. I mean, that can result in disappointment and frustration just because we didn't plan right. So make sure you write out a plan and stick to it. Write it out, stick to it. But yeah, those were just a few things that came across my mind and I was thinking about when it came to business partnerships. There are a lot there, and I'm pretty sure I left some out. You guys can leave some in the comment box if you can think of something. If you experienced a business partnership and you've dealt with the stress and the headaches of it all, and see, I don't want to discourage y'all from jumping into it. I'm just giving you a list that I wish I would have had. I wish I would have had this list. I wish I would have thought about thinking of a list like, hey, these are some things I need to look out for. These are some things that we all need to sit down and talk about before we sign any paperwork, before we spend any money. Because it's gonna better the chance of success for that business. If you guys make sure your goals are aligned, if you guys plan, if you guys are all committed, if you guys all contribute the same, if you guys don't have any trust issues, the business can be prosperous, especially when times are bad. Like, we ain't making no money. Man, But if y'all personalities mesh, y'all can have fun by doing this shit. And see, that's the key. Have fun doing it. Enjoy the process. Vegas Gates, man. Y'all know how we do it. It starts in the mind and ends with the grind. Check us out Wednesday, 6 p.m. for the Vegas Live podcast. The crew will be in the house. We will be back in the house. Yes, indeed. Episode 29. So y'all hit that like, that share button. And thanks for watching your boy Vegas Gates. I will holla. Peace.